Are you sleepy? Are you sleepy? Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Time for you to wake up. Stormy's caused a shake up. Drowsy Don. Bye bye Don. I made up that little song. I thought it was really funny. He's in day 3. I mean, you know, you're watching the news, you're seeing he's upset and he's backed in the corner and he can't keep his mouth quiet and la da 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 da. We're just going to put him to the side because we already did a reading on him. We'll check on him in another reading. But today we're going to look at Ted Cruz. I know, put a bad taste in your mouth, but sometimes we got to do them.
The Campaign Finance Watchdog Group in Citizens United and Campaign Legal Center has filed a formal complaint against Ted Cruz with the Federal Elections Commission.
Ted Cruz, who has a formal complaint against him with the Federal Elections Commission. He has found $630,000 in his Truth and Courage Pact, and it's more or less, it hasn't been considered income, and it can't be considered a contribution to his campaign because you can't pay any more over than $5,000. And so now it's just left with a question mark. Now, the money happened to come from iHeartRadio, which is the same company that Mr. Cruz does a podcast with. What's the podcast name? Verdict with Ted Cruz. And he says all the time he does this out of the goodness of his heart. He doesn't get paid. But that $630,000 showed up. And it's either income that you have not paid taxes on and you've defrauded the government, or a contribution that's way beyond the 5,000 and it just leaves question marks. It's just a big question mark. So I thought, let's do a reading and see if there's going to be any trouble with Mr. Ted Cruz. His energy it feels slimy. It feels dirty, like somebody who's got really bad breath or something, you know? Okay, what's going on with Ted Cruz? What's going on with Ted Cruz? Well, there he is, smug. I just described him as slimy, and here he is. He's smug. He thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. He feels like he's representing and doing the best, and he's all full of himself. Crossing him is the Hangman. Now, I think as soon as I got the Hangman, I got 2 thoughts. One is stalling. I think there's going to be, what's going to go against him is that there's going to be stalling on this case. He's going to be trying to stall it or do something like that. And the second thing with the Hangman is that there's a surrendering. So I think when Ted Cruz, when he was going for president, and Donald Trump really just ripped him a new one, and, you know, he got angry and was like, oh, Donald Trump, don't talk about my wife. But then he turned around a couple of weeks later or a couple of months later and was kissing Donald's ass. So definitely a change there. Underneath it, we got the Page of Cups. So his emotions are definitely getting in the way of himself. King of Pentacles, here he is raking in the money, that $630,000 that he did get paid for his podcasts. That's money came directly from his podcast. On top of it, we've got the Two of Wands. So he's really kind of assessing his life direction right now. I think he's worried that he may not be reelected in Texas. Knight of Wands. Basically what he wants to do now, he better do it now because things are starting to compact. Then we got the Nine of Swords. These are the outsiders, what people think of him. So people see him as you know, somebody who should be worried and should be stressed out because they are going to find the money. They are going to be investigating this, and this is going to become something of a big deal. Ted Cruz, money, 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 $630,000 of money that is not accounted for and that you will be made to account for. Oh, how you'll be made to account for it. The Hierophant. They are going to look at you and they're going to say this money is either income or it's a contribution that's way too much, or there's going to be questions about it. And I think there's going to be an investigation. 100% an investigation, looking at all the details. And then we got the Queen of Swords that popped out. So here's the lawyers. So I would say lawyer up. Lawyer up, you're in trouble. This $630,000 is going to possibly be the nail in your coffin that will stop you from being reelected. I'm not even joking. That's the feeling I get. Ugh. So seeing that we're doing bad energies, let's look at Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Referrals have been made in the ongoing Lectern Gate scandal in Arkansas. This is where MAGA Republican Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has been investigated for a potentially fraudulent purchase of a lectern using state funds, to the extent a lectern was even purchased, for approximately $19,000.
So let's look at Sarah Huckabee Sanders. At the very center of it, we have the laying of the groundwork. So she and her friends, family, all her cohorts, everybody that's around her is planning and trying to make sure that they can, make this go away. They're laying the groundwork to be able to account for all the money that's there. Going against is the Queen of Swords. So there's some BS happening here, but there's got to be communication. I don't like the way these cards are starting off because it feels as though she's the one that's in control. But the audit's happening and the Queen of Swords is here for the audit. Underneath, we got the Queen of Pentacles. So there's a real strong focus here on family. In the past, we had death, transformation. So I think going from working with Donald Trump and then getting elected, that is a major transformation for her. On top of it, we got the Moon. Are we surprised? We know that she's doing things that are not right, that are pay kickbacks to family and friends and stuff like that. And this is the uncertainty and the trying to make sure that nobody has the real understanding of what's going on. In the near future, sorry, I had an interruption. So, in the near future, we've got the Five of Swords representing her. So this is showing hostility. This is showing that she's going to be playing mind games and she's got support to play these mind games. Justice. And this is her card. So it's showing that she has no accountability for what has happened. She's not going to be held accountable according to these cards. The Knight of Pentacles, slow to progress. This is the people around them. They're really just, slow. They're not really trying to do anything to really go after her. In her section, she's got the Six of Cups. This is help. This is help from her family. This is help from her father. This is help from her lineage. It's help from the support that she has around her. And we're closing off with the Knight of Cups. So she's going to follow her heart. Unfortunately, I think that these cards are just too nice for her to get into any major trouble. There might be a little you got to make a little payment or something like that. But she's going to get away with this, and she is going to get reelected. Sorry. Ugh. So my friends, that is our reading for tonight. As always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And I hope you all have sweet dreams tonight. As always, I thank you for your time. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and do all that good stuff that helps my channel. And until the next time we chat, take care, cheerio, and God bless.